finally, what is your opinion or recommendation to this board in regards to the two applications that have been put in front of you?
When we're looking at amending FC5, we have to look at all of the interests that affect lake use. We have to have a balanced approach to this. This has got to include property values, cottages, lake homes, businesses, recreational facilities. We have to look at in-lake. Fishing is definitely one of them. Yes, fishing is one of them. But it's one of many different things one can do in the lake. Boating is a big thing with people in South Dakota. They love to get out there on the weekend and have their power boats out there and run around the lake and have a great time. They love to go skiing. They like to have their jet skis out there. An essential water level, a stable water level, is essential to maintain that kind of overall balanced use for the lake. I personally had a cabin on Lake Madison, and all of the concerns you hear about today, yeah, I knew they were there. I bought the cabin because I wanted to have a cabin on Lake Madison, and I enjoyed tremendously going out there and boating and taking my grandkids out there and having a great time. The lake level started to recede. It went down. I couldn't get my boat in the water anymore. And I said, I don't know where this is going, but as a hydrologist, I'm concerned, and I bailed. I sold my cabin. I said, I'm going to get out while the getting's good. And I sold my cabin. I got out of there for the sole reason of lower lake levels. That was my reason. So when I take a look at this, a consistent lake level, I feel, is essential to a healthy recreational lake, this Lake Ponca.
Do you have any reservations in recommending to this board that they accept the applications as put before them?
I have absolutely no reservations. I am a resident of South Dakota. I enjoy boating. I enjoy being on the lakes. And I would not want to do anything that would be of a detrimental nature to those lakes, and therefore I have no reservations whatsoever in recommending this amendment to FC5 and our request for our water rights.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Bell?
Thank you. Mr. Evans, most of your work involving water issues involves groundwater or the interaction between groundwater and surface water. Is that correct?
That's been the bulk of my work, yes.
And you're not telling the board that you are an expert in, for example, fisheries biology?
No, I am not.
Or economy? Or economics?
No, I am not.
And your area has been the hydrology, or how water flows and what quantities of water flow where, rather than being an expert on water quality. In other words, the water quality standards and EPA compliance with pollution issues.
That is correct.
Now, you indicated that you had looked at paperwork associated with Flood Control Permit 5, the permit that sought to be amended.
Yes.
In your expert report at page 5, appears to indicate that you think that reduction in nutrient loading was not an original purpose of Flood Control Permit 5.
That is correct.
And would you go ahead and look at your report on page 48? You have a paginated version?
Some of my pages aren't numbered here, so I'm going to have to. All right, 48.
And can you tell the board what's on page 48?
It is I believe this is a request to have the FC5 control of FC5 moved from the Lake Ponset Area Development Association to, let's see. Transferred to the Lake Ponset Water Project District. That's what I thought I said. I just wanted to read it to verify that.
The name of that document is Flood Control Water License Number FC5.
Yes,
And it's assigned by John Hatch, the former chief engineer.
that's correct.
And on the first paragraph, paragraph 1, the third line, it does indicate that the Lake Ponset Area Development Association made application for a flood control permit for various purposes, including reduction of nutrient loading to the lake. Doesn't it say that?
Yes, it does.
And can you turn to page 43 of your permit? Or of your,
Yes,
excuse me,
I'm sorry, ours aren't materially.
Are you before you?
okay, I'll try to.
You could just give us the title.
Mine is not numbered, so could you, is that the April 30th? Is that
Sure.
the stamped one?
Let's go to your attachments at the end of your report, and there are a series of attachments that start out with a revised report on application
Yes.
FC5,
Yes.
and that's a couple pages.
Yeah.
That's the Winterton report you were referring to previously, right?
Yes.
In your opinion, is that a reasoned report?
Pardon?
Is that a reasoned report, in your opinion? You referred to it, the Winterton report.
Yes, with one exception, and that is the comment about nutrient loading.
The absence of a comment, or the comment?
The introduction of that statement.
And you disagree that the purpose of the structure was to reduce nutrient loading?
Okay, can I back up here and go through sequentially what I think you're asking,
Well,
or not? I mean, I don't
let me
know
ask you
procedurally
this.
what I can do here.
Let me ask you this, I'll rephrase my question. Looking at the Winterton report, the word nutrient loading is at the end of the second paragraph, is it not?
That is correct.
And in looking at that report, it's apparent from that Mr. Winterton thought that one of the purposes of the flood control structure was to reduce nutrient loading.
I would agree that Mr. Winterton thought that nutrient loading was one of the objectives.
And your position is that he was wrong about that.
I have a whole list of things. That shows up and then disappears. I don't know. That is not in the flood control permit. It is in his report. But if you go back to the flood control permit that was signed by Mr. Hatch, that wording is not in there. That wording, if you go through, there is Mr. Winterton on November 5th, 1986, has his revised application for FC5. He includes or adds the word reduce nutrient loading. And I have a question about that. Where did this come from? Because I couldn't find it. So then I move on to...
Well, wait a minute, let's stay with the Winterton report.
All right.
here. Other than that nutrient loading comment, is Winterton's report a reasoned report?
Yes.
Then let's go back to skip a couple pages and go to one at the top that says flood control permit number FC5.
Yes, that's the April 30th signature stamp at the bottom.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes,
John
on that
Hatch's
page.
signature there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And go to the second paragraph. Doesn't it indicate that one of the purposes of the proposed project would be to reduce nutrient loading?
Yes, it does say that.
And that is the flood control permit for FC5, isn't it?
Yes. But I do not believe it was in the original application when they applied for it. Now, where that got added, I don't know. But in the original application that the Lake Ponset Water Association at that time